Today, we are going to talk about continental drift. So let's dive right in. The Earth's land masses have always looked like this, right? Wrong. The continents we live on today were not always where they are now. In fact, they haven't been for millions of years. All of the Earth's land was once joined together in one supercontinent called Pangaea, which means all Earth. Pangaea first formed around 335 million years ago and broke apart around 175 million years ago. It's believed that the continents then began to move and collide to form the land masses we know today. But how do we know this? And why do the continents keep moving? To understand how we know the continents moved, we have to look at the theory of plate tectonics. The Earth's outer layer is made up of several large plates that are constantly moving and interacting with each other. These plates float on top of the semi-molten Earth's mantle. The theory of plate tectonics was developed in the mid-20th century and revolutionized our understanding of the Earth as structure and processes. It basically says that the Earth's outer layer is broken up into these plates that move around on the mantle. The plates move because of the heat from the Earth's core. The heat comes from the radioactive elements decaying in the core. This heat makes the mantle move in a process called convection. Hotter, less dense material near the core rises, while cooler, denser material near the surface sinks. As the material moves around, it drags the plates with it. So what does this have to do with continental drift? Well, it turns out that the continents are actually part of the plates. They move around on the plates and interact with each other just like the rest of the Earth's outer layer. When the plates collide, one plate can be forced under the other in a process called subduction. This is what happens when an oceanic plate collides with a continental plate. The denser oceanic plate is subducted under the lighter continental plate. As the oceanic plate is subducted, it melts and the rock is recycled back into the mantle. Over time, this process can cause the continental plate to thicken and grow. The Andes Mountains in South America are an example of a mountain range that formed when an oceanic plate was subducted under a continental plate. Okay, so now that we understand how the plates move and interact with each other, let's go back to the continents. As we said before, all of the Earth's land was once part of a supercontinent called Pangaea. But how do we know this? Well, it turns out that the continents fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. If you were to put the continents of Africa and South America together, the edges would match up almost perfectly. The same is true for the other continents. This is strong evidence that the continents were once joined together. But there's even more evidence. We also have fossils of the same species of plants and animals on continents that are now separated by vast oceans. For example, the fossil of a type of plant called Glossopteris has been found in both South America and Africa. But why would a plant fossil be found on two different continents that are now separated by an ocean? The answer is that the continents were once joined together, and the plant fossil was once located on the supercontinent of Pangaea. As we said before, Pangaea began to break apart around 175 million years ago. But how do we know this? Well, we can actually date the rocks to find out how old they are. And the rocks on the continents tell the same story as the fossils. The rocks on either side of the Atlantic Ocean are the same age, which suggests that the continents were once connected. So what will the world look like in 100 million years? Will the continents continue to move and collide? Or will they eventually settle into their final positions? We don't know the answer to this question, but it is one of the many things that scientists are working to understand. The study of continental drift and plate tectonics has taught us a lot about how the Earth works. It's helped us to understand how mountains form, how volcanoes erupt, and how earthquakes happen. It's also helped us to learn about the history of our planet and how the continents have moved and collided over millions of years. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning about continental drift and plate tectonics.